And welcome to Riverside Field and the Hy-Vee pregame show. No intro music for you today. We are on KYNTV exclusively as Yankton Gazelle softball is on our airwaves on KYNT 102.1 FM, AM 1450 online, and the free mobile app. And as I just said, we are here on KYNTV on YouTube, Facebook, our smart TV app, and KYNT1450.com. A lot going on in the Yankton sports scene today. But we are here at the Kyle Mueller Classic. Day one at Riverside Field, one of two sites, the other one being in Crofton. 10 teams in the area for the Kyle Mueller Classic. Pool play over the next 2 days, Friday today and Saturday. Top two teams from each pool move on to Championship Sunday, semifinal, and then a championship game. Being joined by Braden Butler, as we always are here at Riverside Field for Yankton baseball. Braden, I think I covered most of the logistics of this tournament, and we have a couple of huge tournaments back-to-back weekends. The Kyle Mueller Classic here this weekend, honoring Kyle Mueller, of course, the late Kyle Mueller, in a very important cause, and able to recognize him. And then the Lewis and Clark tournament next weekend. We're going to be very busy.
Very busy, but a lot of good baseball to be played. We're opening up the Legion season with a couple of bangers back-to-back, obviously. Yankton got a couple big wins in their official season opener over Aberdeen on Wednesday, but obviously having back-to-back big tournaments like this weekend and next weekend. A lot of fun for Legion baseball as we're really getting into those dog days of summer now.
Yankton took both, as you said, the opening games 3-2 and 10-6 over Aberdeen Post 24. The Smitties, first time they've met that team this season, as we mentioned during that doubleheader. There's about 4 or 5 teams in the Legion standings that play spring Legion ball versus each other and out-of-state opponents, while the majority of these athletes that we're going to see this season play in spring ball, the high school league. Here in South Dakota. Sioux Falls Post 15 is taking their first cuts of the 2023 Legion season, comprised primarily, of course, of players who participated in that spring season with their respective high schools. We'll see some familiar names. I think most of our familiar names, though, a lot of them are on Post 15 West, and that's going to be later on in the season. And a lot of like Jefferson athletes and things of that nature. But it's always interesting to see the Sioux Falls sector, I guess you could say, Braden, of where those athletes end up.
Yeah, no, it is interesting. Obviously, Sioux Falls is a massive place when you have, I think there are four total high schools, and then also O'Gorman's in there, so there's 5 total high schools just in Class AA alone. So it's a massive metropolis at this point in the state of South Dakota by South Dakota standards, and obviously 3 Legion teams, as you mentioned, with East, West, and now Post 15. Just recently expanded to 3 is what it seems, because I believe over the last couple of years it was just 2 East and West.
Yeah, and I will go ahead and put out there that I always consider Harrisburg and Brandon Valley and Sioux Falls schools. Yeah, I love getting on that debate.
I mean, T and Harrisburg. Brandon Valley, I'll give them a little credit. They are a little farther out to the north of the city.
Yeah,
but
like 4 minutes.
Harrisburg and T, they are very near suburbs. I understand if people will delegate them as Sioux Falls schools. We'll call them Sioux Falls adjacent, just so I don't upset anybody.
I always tell my wife, she's from Prior Lake, Minnesota, a suburb of the Twin Cities, of course. And so whenever it conveniences her, she says, yeah, I'm not from Minneapolis, I'm from Prior Lake. But whenever it conveniences her, I'm from the Twin Cities. So which is it, Katie?
She's from the Twin Cities when it matters.
That's what I'm saying. All right, enough on that tangent. Maybe we'll dive into that throughout the podcast. Whenever you get me started on that topic, it goes on forever, and I apologize.
I just want to say that you said before the broadcast we have to keep cabin pressure today, and it's already started, and it's the pregame of Game 1.
It's a 10 o'clock a.m. start, okay? And we're sitting up here with energy drinks and coffee. We're gonna get this thing figured out. But back on track here, Yankton fell in the Kyle Mueller Classic Championship last year, losing to J.C. Breger, or Southeast Lincoln, if you will, out of Nebraska, 14-6, looking to take home the Kyle Mueller Classic title. And so they're in the championship game of that last year, Braden. And then we were talking a little bit about the Lewis and Clark next weekend. We won't talk about that a lot, obviously. Let's focus on this tournament. But they did win the Lewis and Clark last year. So maybe they could get both this year. Who knows? That's obviously always the goal.
You know, you get a couple early season tournaments like this, it's a good way to build momentum. It's a good way to get a lot of reps in too. When you could be playing up to 6 games over 3 days if you're Yankton today, and then you have the same thing going on next week where you have 12 games right out of the gate if you make it to the championship round.
Absolutely. We're going to go ahead and take a break here on the Hy-Vee pregame show. And don't be concerned, thank you, that there's not audio commercials. Again, we are on KYNTV exclusively here today, but we will be back here from Riverside Field. All right, welcome back to Riverside Field and Yankton Post 12 Legion Baseball, day one of the Kyle Mueller Classic. Sioux Falls Post 15 in town, taking on the 2-0 Yankton Legion team. And Braden, we were joking last broadcast, at least I hope it's a joke, because I will go broke, about us having a Yankton Bucks jar every time we say the Yankton Bucks.
It was a joke, I hope, because I was able to catch myself quite often. I think there were a couple that slipped through the cracks game one. I know as we go through the Legion season, we'll get better and better at it, but still, it's something that's going to slip. I'll give away my tell right away. If you ever hear me say the Yankton Post-12 Legion baseball team, I was about to say the Yankton Bucks. So
makes sense.
But it's fun, shifting this over. A lot of these players are the same players we saw from the high school season, so it'll be a lot of fun to see how it all shakes out. Obviously, we talked about it already in the Aberdeen game, but a couple big additions. You add Cody Oswald to the team out in center field, Cooper Grotenheis after he was finished with his spring track season. Samuel Kamshaw's listed on the roster as he still is under that age limit for Legion baseball. It's going to be a fun year for this Yankton Post 12 Legion team, and making that transition from the high school season to the summer season with Legion ball.
All right, your standings review brought to you by Rhonda West on State Farm Insurance. Let Rhonda review your current home, auto, or life insurance to see if she can help you save some money. That's Rhonda West on State Farm. So I believe just as they did last year, the standings will be updated on Mondays. And, well, Braden, is not Monday, but the season is underway, but there's not much movement, and some teams haven't even played games yet, such as Sioux Falls Post 15. So we'll go ahead and skip that for now, but Yankton, of course, is 2-0 on the season, so they will be at the very least, near the top. And your out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Upper Midwest Garage Doors, specializing in the sales, installation, and service of residential and commercial garage doors and openers throughout eastern South Dakota. Upper Midwest Garage Doors, your local authorized Clopay dealer. And we will be checking on the Crofton pool throughout the broadcast as well, or at the very least in the post-game of this matchup. Hopefully we'll have a final there or get near one, see how up-to-date we can get with both pools. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and we'll have our pregame coach interview. Spoiler, it's postgame from Wednesday, and we'll play that for you here on the Ivy pregame show as Braden gives me a thumbs up. Appreciate the support there, Braden.
Proud of you, Bryce.
Thank you. And we will be back here from Riverside Field. And welcome back to the Hy-Vee pregame shows. Go ahead and jump into your pregame coach interview brought to you by 1919 Root Beer, the creamiest full-body draft root beer available. You can find it on tap, Charlie's Pizza, or in cans at Yankton Hy-Vee. Go ahead and play that post-game coach interview from Coach Drew Lawrence from Wednesday. Being joined by Coach Drew Lawrence. Coach, first of all, congratulations on the 2 victories to open the season. Literally, that's exactly how you'd want to open a season, right?
Yeah, we ended up coming out with 2 wins. Pitching was strong for both games, was what we always need. And Drew was really good the first game, and then Mark was good again when he came in relief. And then Lucas was pretty lights out, and then we got him out. And then we did okay at the plate. We did what we needed to do. So.
Yeah, so 6 runs in the bottom of the first. Talking game 2 now. In the bottom of the first. And then Aberdeen did answer, though, did the exact same score line in the top of the fourth. But then Yankton immediately answered in the bottom half of inning number 4. Is that just kind of what you're always talking about with just battling, never really getting too far up against the wall, just going out there and doing what you need to do at the plate?
Yeah, we tend to, when we get up early like that, I get a little nervous because we tend to slow down. They do mentally, and they kind of waste at bats at times. So that's something we definitely need to improve on. If we're going to, want to do some fun things at the end of this year, we got to be able to put teams away. And we just didn't, and they were able to come back. But with this group, I knew that they were going to come back strong after that, and they did.
And this is a team that you don't really see in the spring, obviously, because they're playing Legion ball at the same time, the Aberdeen Post 24. But that's a really good team that just came into Yankton that the Post 12 just took 2 games from them.
They got some good pitchers. Pitcher in the first game was pretty good. He was pretty dominant, and we were helping him out a little bit, but he was good. And then the second game, they used a lot of guys today on the mound. They spread some innings out, so they obviously got a lot of pitching that they're comfortable with. And the wind ended up coming in pretty hard at the end, the last couple innings of the second game. Otherwise, they hit some balls that might have left the yard or off the wall. So, they got a good squad.
You're talking about Drew Reichen in game 1 on the mound, 7 innings, just 4 hits, 2 earned runs, and 8 strikeouts. He's your guy, right? That's your working horse. He came out and did exactly what you wanted him to do.
Yeah, the only good thing with not advancing to the state high school tournament is that Drew was able to get about 10, 11 days off of being on the mound. So we're going to have to spread him out a little bit, make sure he's strong for the end of the year. That 7 innings, I think he was only at 80 pitches, probably something like that, which is what he does efficiently. But yeah, we gotta make sure that he's healthy because he's our guy. So.
Well, and I take full responsibility for this. I was supposed to try to catch you for a pregame, but we were kind of late getting set up here, so I apologize. But for those that this is their first broadcast in a while, or maybe just wondering the difference between the spring and summer seasons, we talked a little bit about the additions of the roster.
We added a couple guys. We added Cody Oswald, who's played center field for us and can run down a bunch of baseballs. And he was batting in the 6th hole. He goes anywhere from the 4, 5, or 6. And then Cooper Grotenhuis, who helps us out tremendously, not only just on the field, but in the dugout as well with team morale and all that. But Cooper's really good defensively, and he hit some really balls hard today. We'll keep them fair, and they might be gone. So we'll get that. So we added those guys, and the rest is pretty much intact from that.
Yeah, and it was an exciting spring season. I'm looking forward to more exciting summer. What's next for Post 12? As I should probably reach for my calendar as well.
So we have tomorrow off, and then we start the
Kyle Mueller Classic.
Kyle Mueller Classic, which is great. It's a fun tournament. We have teams from out of state mostly that come in, and we get to honor Kyle Mueller and honor his family. So it's a cool thing. So hopefully everyone hearing this can come out and support.
Yeah, and absolutely do that. And the first game, and I should have known that as I asked you, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm covering all those games. but
9 o'clock, I believe.
Yep, so that is 9 o'clock on Friday. So come on out, the Kyle Mueller Classic, and that will go over a 3-day span at a couple different sites, right?
Yep, here in Crofton for this one, we had 10 teams in the tournament, so we have 2 sites. So it's pool play Friday and Saturday, and then if you are 1 or 2 in your pool, you advance to Sunday. And you have a semifinal, and a final to figure out who is the champion.
All right, beautiful. Coach, congratulations on the 2 victories. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
All right, we will take a very quick break. Come back here to Riverside Field. We will have the rest of your Hy-Vee pregame show, and then we will rejoin the action here. It is day 1 of the Kyle Mueller Classic. All right, and welcome back to the Hy-Vee pregame show. We're going to run through the rest of our Hy-Vee pregame show here, and let's start with our Vision of the Game, brought to you by Vision Real Estate, where their focus is always on you. Braden.
It's going to be continuing to be aggressive on offense for Yankton Post 12. They were very aggressive at the plate, a lot of early count hits for them, and they were also aggressive on the base paths in their 2 wins over Aberdeen, especially Game 2, which they took 10-6. So continuing that aggression on offense is going to be key for the Bucks, or for there's $1 for Yankton Post 12 today.
And then our Vision Leader of the Season, brought to you by Vision Care Associates. Looking for the highest quality eye care with a personal touch? Call Vision Care Associates today to schedule eye evaluations for everyone, or visit visioncareassociates.net. Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first. Who is the bat that we're looking at?
Well, the leader of the season in batting average is Isaiah Skelhaus. He's not in the starting lineup, but it'll be interesting to see how he does because he was crucial in those 2 victories. The leading batter in the starting lineup is going to be Mac Reichen, who had a very good Game 2 of that doubleheader against Aberdeen. Went 2 for 4, had a couple RBI in that one. So he's going to be your Vision leader of the season, the kind of bat we're looking at here in Game 1.
Starting pitcher preview, brought to you by Missouri River Associates. Looking for insurance agents that have the knowledge to point you in the right direction? Contact Missouri River Associates in Yankton.
It's going to be Sean Turner on the mound today for Yankton Post 12. In the spring season, he had 5 starts, factored into 2 of those 2 decisions in those starts, and was 2-0. He allowed 15 earned runs on the season and struck out 36 batters, second most on the team. He was crucial throughout the year at a 4.5 ERA, a 1.6 WHIP, stranded 20 runners on base. So he had a very good spring season. We'll see how he can do here in Legion Ball.
All right, and then we have our Colors of the Game, brought to you by Buell's Cleaners. Offering dry cleaning, laundry, and business services like linens, rags, rugs, and uniforms. Buell's Cleaners, 444 3rd Street in Yankton. Yankton Post 12 in their reds, red tops, white pants, white caps with the red backing. And Sioux Falls Post 15 in their gray and blacks, white letters, numbers, and black helmets. And they're fans of the game, brought to you by Triple Time Rudy's. No matter what you drive, make sure to fuel up at Triple Time Rudy's. 5 cents off each gallon of fuel on Saturdays. Just say you are a fan of KYNT or KYNTV, expecting a great crowd throughout the weekend. Special shout out to those at the KYNTV Watch Party location, Finney's Sports Bar and Casino. With more TVs and a new improved menu, bring your friends and family to Finney's for every game. Umpires of the game today, brought to you by the South Dakota Office of the Attorney General. They are the law on the diamond. They'll do a great job. And first pitch time is 9:59 a.m. And your field conditions today are brought to you by C&B Equipment. Navigate around your yard with the John Deere lawnmowers from C&B Equipment in Yankton. Today's first pitch temperature is 78 degrees with the wind, as I scroll, Braden, 11 miles per hour from the south. Pretty much straight from the south. And we will have either, Braden, an immediate hit or error, depending on how they rule this, from Jacob Muckow, the shortstop that comes up to bat for Sioux Falls Post 15, pokes it out to left field.